Hello friends, in this video tutorial we are going to see how to integrate your Dialogflow chatbot with MySQL. So if you have HostGator or GoDaddy, then you might already have MySQL database in your control panel. So we will see how to integrate your MySQL database with Dialogflow. Okay, so let's log in into our Dialogflow console. And if you have HostGator or GoDaddy, then just log in into that and you will see phpMyAdmin. Okay, now click on phpMyAdmin and you will see your database. So I have created a database called Unsure Dialogflow Demo. Okay, and I have created a table called users and I have just added some random data here. So let's see how to connect this MySQL database with our Dialogflow chatbot and how to retrieve this data into our chatbot. So first step is to log in into your Dialogflow console and let's create an intent and let's call it get data from MySQL, and for now just add one training phrase called MySQL. Okay, now let's add a parameter called email, and let's enable the fulfillment so that we can connect this with our code. Okay, so the idea here is we will ask for the email, and for that email we will fetch the data from the database. Okay, so let's save it. Now we need to go into the fulfillment section, and now we need to write the code to connect Dialogflow with our MySQL database. So the first step is to install the MySQL npm package. So to do that, just Google npm MySQL and click on this link, and just copy this version number. We will need this, and here just write MySQL and the version number. So MySQL and version number is 2.17.1. It might be changed for you, but whatever you find here, just copy and paste here. Right, so this is in package.json. Now go back to index.js and let's create our new intent. And the name of the so the name of the intent should be exactly same. Yeah, this is the name of the intent that we have created, and let's create a new handler function. Handle read from MySQL. Now let's create this function. Handle read from MySQL. So this function will read our data from the MySQL database. Okay. Alright, so you have created intent map, entered the name of the intent, and this is the function. Okay, now let's write some code. So first thing, here import our MySQL library, require MySQL. Okay, now here we need to create another function called connect to database. Okay, so this function will connect to our MySQL database. So let's see what should we write here. You will write const connection is equal to MySQL dot create connection. Okay, and then host user password and database. So here you need to specify the host, you need to specify the username, you need to specify the password, and finally you need to specify the database, which database you are going to connect. So where do we get all these details from? So if you go to your control panel, you will see the site IP. So you can use this site IP as your host name. So just copy this and go to your Dialogflow and paste it. Now username is something you can create a user. So if you go to MySQL databases, you can create your own user. So you will see an option to create a new user. So you can create yourself, and if you have user, then just use those details. So I will add my user, and I will add my password, and I will add my database. Okay, so this is our connection. Now the next step is to return new promise. Now you will write connection dot connect, and then finally resolve connection. So this is the code to connect to database. Okay, now we need to write another function to query the database. So we'll write query database. So this function was used to connect to database. This function will be used to query the database, and we will pass the connection in this function. Okay, and this will also be a promise based function. So return new promise, resolve reject. Okay, and in this you will write connection dot query and your SQL, and here you will write a callback function which will take 3 parameters: error, results, and fields. And here you will write resolve results. So in here you will need to write your query. So for now we'll just write select star from users. So we have our table called users. We'll just write select star from users. Now we will use these two functions in our handle read from MySQL code. So this function will take agent. Now let's write connect to database dot then we'll get the connection. We will use this connection. Then return query database connection dot then. So now we will call this function query database and we'll pass this connection, and then we'll get result. And finally for now let's just console.log the result just to see if we are getting the result back or not. Okay, so connect to database, then get the connection, then query database, and then get the result, and then console log the result. So, and then finally connection dot end just to close the connection. Okay, now let's deploy this. Alright, so the deployment is successful. Now let's test it. So just write MySQL. Please provide an email. We can provide an email because right now we are not using it. Anshul@email.com and click on view execution logs. Alright, and one thing you need to make sure is your billing account is configured. If you have not configured your billing account, then in your console log you will see this message, billing account not configured. And if you don't know how to configure billing account, then click on the I button on the top right corner. Okay, so I am in the console log and you can see I've got the data from the database. So these are our two data from the database. So now what we can do is we can write something like this: agent.add result 0, or actually first name right. So what we have done is taken the first result, and first name is result.firstname, last name is result.lastname. Alright, so let's try it now. So if we write MySQL and it asks for email, so just write any email for now. And there you go. You can see first name is Anshul and last name is Srivastava. So it got the data from the database and it showed it here. So if we just change the data name to test and last name to user, and if we try it again, you see first name test, last name user. So it is getting the data from the database. Now what we can do is we can write some logic to compare the email address, right? So we can write something like this: result.map email So first we need to get the email address of the user, agent.parameters.email. So this is the email address, this one, and we can write something like this: result.map email. Let's call it user email. So result.parameters.map email. Let's just do it user, result.map user dot and this parameter email. So we are mapping through all the results and getting each user, and we are checking if the email address is same as what user has provided. And we can write something like this: if so let's do it properly. Yeah, so result.map user, if user email equal to whatever user has entered, if they are same, then show this. Okay, let's correct our database back to whatever it was before. All right, so let's quickly deploy it. And also change here to user.firstname and user.lastname. So what we are doing here is we are looping through all the users, okay, and we are checking the email address. So if the email address matches with whatever user has provided, then we are just printing the first name and last name. Okay, let's quickly deploy it again and see if it works. All right, so let's try it again. Okay, so MySQL tasks for email. So the email we have entered here is anshul@example.com. So let's enter the same email. And there you go. First name Anshul, last name Srivastava. Let's try it again for our second user, Rahul Verma. So MySQL, please provide email, rahul@example.com. And there you go, Rahul and last name Verma. So let's quickly add new data just to see if it works as expected. So Tom Cruise, tom@example.com, and add another one, Sean Small, Sean@example.com. Okay, so now we have got 4 data, Tom Cruise and John Small. Okay, so let's try it again. MySQL, email tom@example.com, and there you go. So you can see how easy it is to connect your Dialogflow with MySQL database, and you can see how can we get the data from MySQL database and show it in our chatbot, Dialogflow chatbot. In next video tutorial, I will show how to add, edit, and delete new data into the MySQL database. So I hope you like this video. Please click on the like button, share this with your friends, and if you have not subscribed to our channel, please subscribe to our channel. Thank you.